Hey guys, Mike from Galaxy here, and I am pleased to announce I am joined here with Jason Jones from Show It Off. Hi, Jason.
Hello, how's it going, Mike?
It's good. I mean, finally to get together. I know we tried to plan IAPA, but with us both being busy. But for those that don't know, and I know some of you followed it very closely, Jason and Show It Off, they're the guys that won our bull competition, our bull content competition, where we submitted 11 different photographs from different companies, and it was a vote for which was the best picture. And I'm happy to say, Jason, yours was one of our favorite pictures out of the 11. But as we were just previously discussing in our little pre-chat there, it wasn't the whole purpose of the exercise, and you guys took the challenge on board and really ran with it. So I know some people felt it unfair, but how we ran the competition, for those that are not aware, is that we did comments on the main post. So you could vote for picture 1, picture 7, whichever it was, and it was unlimited. And you had the foresight to actually call in, didn't you?
I did. I called in when you launched the competition because I wanted to make sure that those were the correct rules, because I wanted to let all my family, friends, and definitely my staff know that we're going to go at this 100%, and it's going to add up to a lot of comments.
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea was initially when dealing with Ella, and for those that haven't met or spoken to Ella is new to the company within the last year and is really flourishing in the marketing department. And the original plan was to count likes per picture, per photograph, and do it that way. But we knew that you can only like a photograph once, which would have made my job easier in terms of counting the votes when somebody like Jason and his team comes along. But we really wanted this to be a lesson for ourselves and for you guys, how to really grow engagement through Facebook, because at the end of the day, Facebook doesn't care what the comment is. It's just looking for, oh, this post is popular, this is being shared, this is being liked, this has got a lot of daily comments going back and forth. And I think it's a great tool for you guys that you can use it in your local community and encourage, maybe not giving away Mechanical Bull, but some other promotions that can get your local community to share the posts and to grow your influence in your local community. So for those that don't know, Jason and his team won the vote with over 70% of the vote. And just tell me, who's Tori? Is that somebody on your team?
Tori is my office manager, yes.
All right. Well, Tori got 9.2% of the overall vote. So just tell me, Jason, just a bit about you saw that the competition had gone out and you called in to clarify the rules. From there on, kind of what was your strategy? What were you thinking?
Well, I thought this is a good deal. I mean, this is an expensive piece of equipment that I can use because I already have a couple of mechanical bulls, and who can't use an extra bull attachment? So I put everything into it. I went to family, I went to friends and said, hey, I need you to keep doing this. And of course, it locked us. We found out real quick on day one that it could lock you out of your Facebook account for making any comments or anything. And at first, it only locks you out for a couple hours. But later, as the week progressed, for instance, I was locked out for the last 2 days. I believe it was. I couldn't make any comments on any Facebook post at all on my personal for like 2 days or something. It finally let me back in because I'd done it, and Tori was the same way. Sometimes she could do it, sometimes she wasn't. But I kind of made it a contest. I had a lot of family and friends that were involved, and I just every day, it was funny. I kept putting I forgot what number we were now. Like number, I think it was 7. What number were we, Mike?
That's a good question. I believe you were vote number 2.
Vote number 2. That's it. So anytime anybody would text me something at the end, I would put, remember, vote number 2. and I did it to all my drivers, my staff. I'd put vote number 2. And my office staff, which is Tori and Kim, I told them that if you get on board and do this, I'll give you a small bonus to help out. And
There we go. Incentivizing the staff.
I gave them each a $50 bonus if we won, and we did win. So it was worth it because I was out $100 to get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive looking when. So from our side, not panic. I mean, panic between me. Ella texted me straight away, and she said, we're already, I mean, this was in the first like 10 minutes. We're already at like 160 comments. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. It proves that it's working. And then overnight we came back and we'd hit 1,000 already. And then it was the question of, well, how are we going to count these votes? So that became a challenge, but fortunately there's much smarter people out there on the internet. And when we're giving away a prize, of this value, a regular mechanical bull attachment, you're looking at $3,500 there or thereabouts. So I guess incentivizing your staff to get your equipment and up to date and fresh, which brings me on to a good question, which was I should know this, but it's been a while. But when did you get your first mechanical bull?
So I purchased my first mechanical bull actually last winter, 1 year ago, and I received them in April. I've had other Galaxy items like the Meltdown and Kapow in years previous. I've been very successful with those, Toxic Twister, but I kept holding back on a mechanical bull. I got my first one, and I actually ordered two. I got them in April, and it was the best investment that I have. They've actually paid for both of them already in full. Both the whole complete systems have been paid for already in 7-8 months. They're already making big time profits. So I should have got into them a lot earlier.
That's a great testament, and I'm glad to say that's not an uncommon story that we hear from not just across customers in the US, but that's a great testament, and it's one that I've heard multiple times across the years, not just here in the US, but across Europe and Australia and our different regions that were very popular. And I know this may seem like a straightforward leading question, but like, why did you choose when you first got in with the Kapow and the Meltdown? Why did you choose Galaxy to help grow your business?
I actually saw Galaxy at the IAAPA trade show several years ago and talked with you, Mike, and I could tell that y'all knew what you were doing, and I liked what I saw, so I went with it, and it became a successful relationship.
Yeah, totally agree. Knowing how well you did with your Kapow and the Twister, I mean, which was a totally underrated piece that it's interesting from my point of view as a ride designer that how some rides get traction and some don't. Some take off. Like Meltdown just went to the races, and when anybody asks me what's your favorite ride that you've ever designed, it's always Kapow. I mean, it's 3 games in one, and and for those that are watching this, you're probably gonna notice certainly in 2025 and onwards a surge in me pushing Kapow, because I just think it's, for those that have Meltdowns already, it's an easy add-on and such a phenomenal ride. So still you're relatively fresh to the mechanical bull business. I know you guys have been operating for a long time, but what do you think your top tips for mechanical bull events are?
My top tips for mechanical bull events are, first off, don't worry about the guys that aren't using Galaxy bulls, the undercutting guys and everything. There's guys out there that are doing mechanical bull rentals, even in my area, for $150 when they're, worth $1,000. And my number one tip is sell to your customer about safety. Galaxy bulls, it's all about safety. We sell the fact that you get a Velcro or you get a lanyard that Velcros to the bull. So as you fall off, it stops. If the operator doesn't stop it, it stops. We also sell the point that our operators are trained operators. They know what they're doing. They're going to watch your guests. We have our number one pitch to customers when they call up is we have the safest bull in the industry, the newest and safest bull in the industry. And you want to rent this one from us, your guests will be happy. You'll be happy. And they always are when we leave. We've knock on wood, I haven't had an unhappy mechanical bull customer,
Yeah, that's great.
which is great to hear. Everybody has a blast, and now we have the mechanical pumpkin, and it did good. And the mechanical reindeer we just debuted at a park as a paper play this weekend, and it was a hit. And now we were going to still do some rentals with it. We had a rental yesterday with it, but we've pulled it for inventory for that park because they even did a commercial where they cut a little bit of the mechanical reindeer. The people that were shooting the commercial wanted to put it on their commercial. So,
Oh, wow.
So now there's already people calling, wondering where that mechanical reindeers are going to be this weekend. We're telling them to go to this Christmas drive-through park, and then you get out and there's all sorts of things to do. So
That's you raised two good points there. I mean, you've been a customer for a long time, but I didn't realize that this year with mechanical bulls were new for you. So already within a year, you've understood the power of the multi-ride system, and that with the pumpkin or the reindeer, really leaning into those holiday events and those themes. And that's what I love to see, because the whole concept behind the machine is that once you've made your larger initial investment for the equipment, you can add on the different attachments and inflatables, and all of a sudden you've got Halloween, Christmas, baseball events, or it amazes me. Well, maybe it doesn't, because the shark looks phenomenal, but the amount of people that do so many rentals in Shark Week that the Discovery Channel still runs all these years later. And then
that game attachment. A friend of mine in Tennessee just called me up saying, what should I get next? And should I get a bull? Should I get a train? Should I get a rock wall? Because he wanted to go. I told him, you need to get a bull. Get the bull with the redneck attachment, so you got a smaller version of Meltdown and a bull all together. And he didn't realize so many rentals. I already have Meltdowns, but I'm pretty sure he was sold on. When I got off the phone with him, and I'm not a salesman for you or anything, he was just asking. I go, your money's going to come back right away on this, So he didn't realize that.
Yeah, and I mean that always humbles me. I mean, I know my dad and we feel it every time that we hear a story from a customer that when we tell this to customers, then if they don't know who we are, it does sound like sales patter, and that we're trying to just push the sale. And genuinely, we are here to help grow your companies, because if you guys are making money, as you've proven, you started off with a Kapow, you bought multiple different rides, and as soon as you got your bull, you're straight into different attachments and inflatables. So if you're doing well, it means that we're doing well. And to hear that you basically, without prompting, telling somebody those exact things is it's really great to hear, and it's kind of a testament to the product. I always share a little anecdote from the before times. I kind of say before we moved here to the US in 2008. I think my accent gives me away. I can show you my American passport, but I think my accent gives me away that I'm not Native American. And in 2006, we were sat in the office of then the factory in the UK, and I remember sat with Robin and saying, well, how many more mechanical bulls do you think we can sell? Like, we've sold a lot, and maybe we've saturated the market, and there's too many mechanical bulls out there. And here we are, 19 years later from that chat, and we're still, I think last year was one of our most record sales years for mechanical bulls. So the popularity of these rides and the testament to how much money they make for you guys, our customers, it's unparalleled. So,
and you said something in there that's important too. The mechanical bull has generated not only mechanical bull sales, but gotten it's provided us a lot more corporate events and big time events that we didn't have. For instance, our mechanical pumpkin was rented to a big internet company that has fulfillment centers that start with the letter A all over, and they called up for a mechanical pumpkin for a big event that they were doing, customer appreciation or not customer appreciation, but employee appreciation,
yeah,
and had all the employees' families out. Well, that ticket turned into, they called for the mechanical pumpkin. They ended up renting 7 or 8 inflatables, a trackless train. It became a very high dollar ticket, and that was a company that we wanted to get in with, you know, and it's led to a bigger sale now and future bookings coming up.
yeah. You've got that relationship. It's always been earmarked as that kind of gateway product to bridge between your backyard party rentals and into the higher paying corporate events. And the best thing is that it can be inside and outside. It can be at any time of the year as well. So no, it's great to hear. I've heard again similar stories from different regions around the country. I know that a certain customers doing a lot of events for Tesla and their Gigafactory, and to the point that we've had discussions of making a Cyberbull so much. But I mean, it kind of leads into a good question that I always ask just because I find it interesting. But have you ever rented? Who's the most famous person or event that you think you've rented for? Does anything spring to mind?
I haven't really rented that I know of. You know, I have guys that go out and actually do some of the rentals, but I can't think of anybody famous besides college mascots and stuff. I know we did a big deal for Ariat that makes boots and everything. They had a big Shields grand opening in Tulsa, their store, and they had us come out, and it was a big to do. They were great. They were giving away free hats, but if you rode the bull, you got a free shirt, and it was a nice T-shirt that they were giving away. And we had grandmas and grandpa. Everybody was lined up to ride the bull. And I mean, they'd get up on there and would turn it on slow, and some of them would slide off. Well, do I get a shirt now? And we're like,
yeah, pretty much just taking the knee almost, you know, like a quarterback.
But at that event, there were several college mascots. We had fun. Some of them got up there all of a sudden, and I go, here, y'all need to ride the bull. And they got up and competed against each other on who could ride the bull the longest. So that was kind of fun to see and everything.
That's great.
So, but that's probably, you know, we've done several corporate events, some bigger corporate events, but as actual a famous person, to my knowledge, no, not to say that my guys, sometimes too, when you're doing something for famous people, you can't disclose.
Of course, yeah. Okay, and well, then this is a question that we got asked internally when we did a meet the team thing recently. What if you could choose like a dream event? Like, I know that we've got staff that go out and do the events and things like that, but if you could choose a dream event, any country, any scenario, or for somebody famous or not, give you an example. I think Robin said to be at the Sydney Harbour Bridge on, like, for the fireworks on New Year's Eve kind of thing, with doing a rental or something like that. I've been fortunate that I've actually experienced one of my own. So growing up in the UK as a teenager, I used to skate and used to be in that whole world. And we actually did a custom ride for Taco Bell for the X Games in Los Angeles. And we did a custom skateboard ride, like they were coming down the volcano when they launched the Volcano Taco. So I got to go and fulfill like a childhood dream of going to the X Games and seeing these skaters and meeting a bunch of famous people and stuff. So that was mine, but it's just a stupid question if you've got like a dream event that you'd love to do.
For me personally, as you can tell behind me,
I
I'm
was
a
about to say, I think I can see where this is going.
I'm a huge WWE fan. My whole office is decked out. My desk looks like a WWE commentator's table. I'd love to do something for the WWE. I've been a wrestling fan since I was young. Actually, Hulk Hogan's in Tulsa today advertising his new beer, and my brother and I plan on going up and getting a 12-pack of his beer and have him autograph that at a Reese's today. But I'm a huge WWE fan. So me personally, I would love to do a WWE event. On Show It Off's marketing side, it's a little bit different. I would like to do any event that national TV is there where we're all wearing our shirts and our logos and everybody sees their Show It Off. I mean, of course, for any company, Galaxy, I'm sure is the same. They want to see
absolutely
national TV, and that's what it's about. It gets you more publicity, and then you could market that via Facebook and websites. I was on this. I was,
absolutely. Yeah, and I love the fact you've got your Christmas version of your shirt on today.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
well prepared. You should, if you get the chance to meet Hulk Hogan. We did a ride for him. He has a bar in Tampa called Hogan's Run.
Yep.
And we did a fun little side anecdote. It's how we met our IP attorney, actually, that still represents us today. He is Hulk Hogan's IP attorney, and he's licensed his name for these bars, Hogan's Run, and he had a mechanical great white shark in his, because it's a beach bar, so he has a mechanical great white shark in his bar.
Okay, so, well, I may bring that up to him today.
and a Tampa native as well. So Jason, thank you for jumping on this call, and thank you for getting involved with the competition. This is probably a good time to let everyone know that we will be doing some other competitions throughout the year. We've got 2 that we're kind of working on. The format isn't going to be the same, so we don't have to worry about Jason and his whole squad of voters spamming the vote. So we're going to play around, and we're going to do it in a way that we can teach, that we get to give something away and reward the community, but equally that we get to teach you guys something about marketing and engagement with your customer base, because you are ours. And again, if you guys are making money, we're making money, and so this is all part of the effort.
Galaxy Mechanical Bulls, the #1 way to go.
Perfect. I love that. Thanks, mate.